Welcome into Herman Brothers Field, where we have yet another beautiful day of baseball, 82 degrees and sunny. And what a wonderful matchup we have on hand tonight between the Anchorage Bucs and your home team for this contest, the Matsu Miners. The Bucs coming in tonight 12-13, sitting third in the ABL, and the Miners are on top of the ABL, sitting at 15-9. The Miners are looking to make it 8 straight at home, so they've won the past 7 before they head on the road for 5 straight in Kenai against the Peninsula Oilers. Whereas the Bucs, on the other hand, they're just trying to break a little 2-game losing streak and try to even their winning streak, or rather winnings ways, to 500 and even up at 13-13. So we'll run through the Bucs offensive starters tonight, leading things off the shortstop out of the University of Miami, Willie Escala, followed by the left fielder Daniel Fredrickson. And then over at first base is Jake Veith. In the cleanup spot today, for the first time in the ABL this season, national champion from Oregon State, Tyler Malone, followed by the second baseman, Tanner Treadaway. Brennan Bro bats in the 6th spot, playing center field. In the 7 hole, another national champion, Oregon State Beaver, Troy Clouch. And followed up by him is right fielder Logan Enos. And then rounding it out in the 9th spot, the designated hitter, Jace Vandebreak. They'll be on the mound, or rather, they'll be facing Josh Haley, the southpaw, on the mound tonight for the Miners. And actually, we have a pitching matchup. That is a rematch between Haley and Price. As the last time these two teams played, the Bucs got the advantage over the Miners 3-0, and Price got the win, whereas Haley, unfortunately, had to take the loss. So Willie Escala stands in the box, and we're ready to get things going here in a beautiful Tuesday night in Palmer, Alaska. Josh Haley's first pitch is a fastball that nails the outer edge. That's strike 1. So Haley, the left-hander out there, is 1-1 on the season with a 1.92 ERA. And through 21 1/3 innings pitched, as he misses outside to tie the count up at 1, he has 19 strikeouts, 4 walks, and has allowed 14 hits. And that ERA is best for 7th in the league. This one tapped right back to Haley, so he'll really get in the game to start this one. He throws over to first for out number 1. With that first out, we'll run through the defensive starters for the Matsu Miners. The man behind the plate tonight, David Avitia, over at the hot corner, making his first start there tonight, Spencer Henson. Over at short, Drew Swift. Second base, Caleb Van Blake. And at first, Josh Hatcher. In the outfield from left to right, Danny Wright. In left, Kona Quiggle. In center, and Austin Pinarini is over there in right field. So Daniel Fredrickson will stand in with 1 down. He lines one foul over to the right side. So Escala was retired on just the 3rd pitch of this ball game. Daniel Fredrickson stands in the left fielder. So a little lefty-on-lefty matchup for the first time tonight. Haley winds and deals. This pitch just misses outside. The count will move to 1-1. Fredrickson comes in tonight batting .224 with a .328 on-base percentage. Has driven in 9 runs as well. As Haley, big breaker. That just misses high, though. So the count will move to 2 balls, 1 strike. Fredrickson, out of Gonzaga, one of 3 Gonzaga players starting tonight for both teams. So a lot of Bulldog pride. As Veith will be coming up and actually next. And then Austin Pinarini playing right field. Fredrickson skies it over to the left side and foul ground. Spencer Henson moves over, but he'll run into the fence and out of room. So Josh Haley will tie the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out to begin this first inning of play. Only the second batter due up tonight, and Daniel Fredrickson. Josh Haley stands on the mound, dangling that left arm. Now comes set. His 2-2 is poked out into shallow center. Moving back and making the overhead grab is Drew Swift. Nice play there from Swift. So 2 up, 2 down so far. Josh Haley couldn't ask for a better way to get going. And in that last outing, he went 7 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, issued 2 walks, and had 5 strikeouts. So definitely not a bad outing for Josh Haley. Just unfortunately, not a lot of offensive production for him. But the Miners look to change that today. Haley misses inside, so the count moved to 1-0. Mentioned this Bucs team sort of struggling of late, only batting .289 in their 5-5 in their last 10 as Jake Veith ropes one into the right center field alley. He rounds first. He'll be on his way to second as Austin Pinerini runs to the wall and grab it. It'll be cut off by Van Blake, and Jake Veith in safely with a 2-out double. Really nice hit there from Veith. He waited on the off speed quite nicely and drove around and got it. So Veith has 8 doubles on the season. Really seeing the ball well as he came into that at bat, second in the ABL with an average of .381. And that'll bring up the cleanup man for the first time this season, Tyler Malone, the third baseman out of Oregon State. Mentioned they were just in the College World Series as we have another lefty on lefty matchup. So Malone bats left, throws right. Josh Haley misses inside. Malone just went 2 for 10 in the College World Series in those 3 games, where his Beavers were successful in winning the national title. Malone fouls one over to the right side. That's going to go out of play. So we're tied up at 1. Count-wise, that is. 2 outs. Top of the first inning. No score yet. Haley working from the stretch for the first time tonight. Comes set. His pitch. That's whacked foul over to the right side once again. So Josh Haley is ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Malone this past spring batted .278 in 53 games played and drove in 32 runs. Has a runner in scoring position right now. Haley's 1-2. Breaker misses just outside. The count's tied up at 2 now. So Malone, an opportunity to drive in a run for the Bucs as they have scored 30 in the past 4 games. So a lot of production at the plate. Haley's 2-2's on its way. That misses high. So Tyler Malone has worked a full count. And the Bucs with a .265 batting average in those past 4 games. So they've been seeing the ball well at the plate. Just unfortunately, they've been faced better offense. As Malone, this one's skied in the foul territory on the left side. 3 minors en route, but all of them will watch it fly over the fence and out of play.
So a lot of the that gravel kicked up when they're all going. So full speed ahead, and luckily they just finished before they hit the fence, but can't knock the hustle.
You got to love it. 3 minors running hard. It was third baseman Spencer Henson, shortstop Drew Swift, and left fielder Danny Wright on the move over there to try to make the grab. As the Bucs have dropped 2 in a row, so as I just mentioned, just facing a lot better offense lately. And Tyler Malone swings through for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So Josh Haley does allow a double, but Jake Veith will stand on second as he watches Tyler Malone swing through one in the minors. We'll bring the bats up for the first time tonight in the bottom of the first inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Josh Haley sets the Bucs down for no runs in the top of that first inning. Now the Miners bats are up here in the bottom of the first. This league leading in batting average steps up to the plate with Kona Quiggle leading things off out of center field. And the right fielder out of Gonzaga, Austin Pinerini, follows, followed by the second baseman, Caleb Van Blake. And in the cleanup spot and over in the hot corner, Spencer Henson. In the 5 hole is first baseman Josh Hatcher. In the 6th spot, left fielder Danny Wright. In the last 3 due up for the Miners, designated hitter Hunter Jump. In the 8th spot, catcher David Avitia. And in the 9th spot, rounding out the order, shortstop Drew Swift. They'll be on the mound, as we mentioned earlier, Preston Price, the right-handed thrower. Price out of Arizona, so a little Wildcat matchup tonight. And another rematch. As we mentioned, Price went 7 innings in his last outing, which was against the Miners, where he gave up 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts, went on to be the winning pitcher. But the Miners have known that Price is going to be the starter and are ready to see him once again and looking to do a little better. As I just mentioned, only salvaged 4 hits off Preston Price. So Kona Quiggle will step in from the left side of the dish. Tell you what, the center fielder, Kona's been tearing it up this season ever since he moved into that cleanup spot. Batting .300 with 13 RBIs on the season. Price's first pitch, that misses low and away. So Quiggle looks at a first pitch ball. Tall, standing, 6'2", bit of an open stance. Price winds and delivers. This time hits the inside edge for strike 1. Counts now tied up at 1-1. Kona does have 7 hits against the Bucs, as Price's 1-1 pitch is popped up high in the air over to the left side of the infield. Camped under it, trying to make his first put out of his alone, and actually he'll miss the fly ball as it came down and hit off his glove. So Kona Quiggle all the way over to second on the air. So welcome to the ABL, Mr. Malone. Here's a high pop. Unfortunately, couldn't handle it. And it's tough wind with the way that wind blows over to the right side. That's a tough play for a third baseman. Nevertheless, it's something you have to make.
Well, not the start you wanted to your ABL career for Tyler Malone. That makes 35 errors as a team for the Bucs. Malone's first.
Yeah, the Bucs just really struggling in the errors department. And Malone was a guy that was a designated hitter a lot at Oregon State this past spring. So wasn't in the field too often. So maybe just needs to shake off the rust a little bit. Nevertheless, the Miners do have their leadoff man on second, as Price will work from the stretch now. He kicks and misses low to Austin Pinerini, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Pinerini, second in the ABL with 16 RBIs. He is just behind Jake Veith for the Bucs, who's standing on first. Price comes set, belt high, takes a peek over at Kona Quiggle. Now a motion to the plate. Pinerini will take it high and inside. So the count moves to 2-0. Josh Nolan calling the balls and strikes tonight. Mark Anthony Edwards over at first base. And Scott Johnston, the third base umpire tonight. That's your officiating crew in tonight's game between the Bucs and Miners, in which we have yet to see anyone score, but the Miners are threatening. Nobody out and a man on second. Price turns, acts like he's going to throw down to second, but had no infield help over there, as he's talking to his shortstop, Escala, maybe trying to run a quick little pickoff play.
Even though Quiggle knew that nobody was around, you still got to run back, and good awareness from Kona.
And Pinerini, the 2-0, Pinerini fouls it off over behind the press box. So Clouch behind the plate, Malone at the hot corner, Escala at short, Treadaway at second, Veith over at first, Fredrickson in left, Bro in center, and Enos is over in right. That's your defensive layout for the Anchorage Bucs. They look to try to get back to 500 tonight with a win. No score. Bottom of the first inning, nobody out. The Miners have a man on second. The 2-1 pitch. Pinerini lifts one in the air to left field. And moving back, making the catch is Fredrickson. And since it was in left field, Kona Quiggle will have to stay on second. So that'll be the first out of the bottom of the first inning for Price. And Caleb Van Blake will step in, who's been absolutely on fire since entering this Miners lineup. 7 for 17 so far with a .593 on base percentage. Has driven in 6 runs. And picked right back where he left off yesterday, as he missed 4 days due to his brother's wedding. That was his first game yesterday. But talking to him today, he said, yep, just felt natural coming back.
Just another day in the office.
It really is. He skies one over to the left side. That's right near the left field line. Coming in near the line and making the catch is Fredrickson. So the Miners now have flown out twice in the bottom of the first inning. Kona Quiggle still looking on second, as the Miners try to bring across this first run of the ball game. And this is probably their best opportunity to do so, as Spencer Henson steps in, leads the league in batting average at a clip of .386 and 14 RBIs. Does have 6 hits against the Bucs, and Also second in the league, tied for second. His teammate Kona Quiggle with 27 hits. So the right-handed hitting first baseman tries to crack the scoreless drought, and he lines one right in between second and short. Treadaway will not be able to get to it. Quiggle flying around third. The throw home from Enos is in time, and Quiggle is tied out at the plate for out number 3. So the Miners are ever so close to scoring that first run of the ball game here in the bottom of the first inning, but Quiggle will be tagged out of the plate. So we're still scoreless through 1 inning of play, and we'll enter into the second on Matsu Miners Radio. No score through 1 inning of play here at Herman Brothers Field between the Bucs and Miners. The Miners have won 7 in a row at home. They look to make it 8 tonight before they head to Kenai and face the Peninsula Oilers. Some new faces now on the Miners between Denver McQuarrie out of Mississippi State, along with his Aggie teammate Josh Hatcher, who's playing first base tonight. Also played last night where he had a nice start game, 1 for 3. Nevertheless, Haley's still on the mound for a second inning of work. He'll face Treadaway, Bro, and Clouch. So standing in is the right-handed hitting Treadaway. Batting .217 this season, .278 on base percentage. Haley's first pitch misses low in the dirt. So he falls behind 1-0. And the Miners' past 2 starts have been pretty incredible as Haley's 1-0 just misses low. Counts now 2-0 as he asks for a new baseball. 13 innings pitched, only allowed 1 run, which was earned, 7 hits, and they've struck out 18. So that's between Ian Churchill and Asa Lacey. Treadaway, this one's towering over to the right side. Hatcher tries to make a play at it, but that ball literally dropped on top of the fence. And it was dropping quickly, so that would have been a tough play for Hatcher to make. So it will drop, and Treadaway will stay alive.
Yeah, he did everything right going towards the fence. He checked the ball in the air, checked how close he was to the fence, but then by the time he got there, just dropped and couldn't reach it.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, top of the second inning, no score. Haley's pitch had Treadaway swinging well early. He swung at 7:22, but that ball ended up coming around at 7:23. That's how ahead of it he was. Nevertheless, the count's tied up at 2, and Josh Haley looking for his second strikeout tonight. Now up to 20 on the season as Josh Nolan rings up Tanner Treadaway. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josh Haley, as this is the first out of the top of the second inning. So nice work there from Haley. He fell behind early, 2-0, but then brought it back with 4 straight strikes, one of them being a foul, obviously. And I'll bring up Brennan Bro, the left-handed hitting center fielder, who was second in the ABL with 18 walks. Bro batting .263 this season, .406 on base percentage. Josh Haley nails that lower outside corner for strike 1. Bro of recent has been on a tear, 4-game hit streak, batting 8 of his last 13 at-bats. So he dribbles one foul over to the left side. So 8 hits in his past 13 at-bats, and that's accounted for 5 RBIs. So just under half of his RBIs have come in the past 4 games. So good thing no one's on for the Miners, that he doesn't have a chance to do any damage. Josh Haley misses outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, top of the second inning. 0-0. Haley working in his 4th start of the season, 6th appearance. This is a little breaking ball that Bro stays on nicely, and a 1-hopper to Van Blake, who tried to make the sliding play, but no one was over to cover at first as Hatcher went for the ball as well. So Bro will reach on the infield single, and that'll be the second hit for the Bucs. That's Bro's 5th hit against the Miners.
And, that play, Hatcher, pretty new at first. He still has to get used to Van Blake at second or whoever is playing second for the Miners. So it's just kind of a feel thing. And as we go along throughout the season, one will know each other.
And you're right. It's just getting to know each other as Haley's first pitch misses low to Troy Clouch. Getting to know each other, just meshing. This is the final wave of new players for the Miners. So now everyone's on the team. The Kenai trip is coming up. That'll definitely mesh a lot of guys together. Haley working from this stretch. The 1-0 pitch is bounced foul behind Troy Clouch. And this is Clouch's first game in the ABL as well. Unlike his Oregon State teammate, he did not play in the College World Series. However, in 23 games this past spring, batted .321 and drove in 10 runs. So the left-handed hitting catcher, or rather right-handed hitting catcher, looks at a strike outside. He's now down on the count 1-2. And could possibly help out this Bucs offense just a little bit, who averages the 3rd best batting average in the league at a clip of .229. So they are starting to turn things around if they've moved into 3rd place in the ABL. Clouch fouls it off as it dribbles over to the right side. And I tell you what, you can tell Clouch is from Oregon State. The bright orange left sort of shin guard, and then the left elbow guard is bright orange, and then his batting gloves are bright orange with a little bit of white on them. So he represents his school very proudly. Haley's 1-2 is on its way. Just misses outside. The count will move to 2-2. So the Bucs jerseys tonight, they wear the black jerseys with yellow lettering and numbering with a white outline in the gray pants. The Miners are back in the green jerseys, white pants. And those green jerseys have yellow numbering and lettering as well with a white lining. Haley's 2-2 is bounced shortly into second. Coming in to make the play is Caleb Van Blake. His only play was at first. So that'll be the second out of the inning as Clouch is retired in his first ever ABL at bat. So 2 down, top of the second inning. No score, but the Bucs do have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So that brings up the switch hitting right fielder Logan Enos. And Enos really has been struggling the past 7 days. Only 2 hits and 17 at-bats. Does have an RBI to a credit to that, however. And Enos, who really tore it up this past spring at New Mexico State, batting .314. Not having this summer that he would have hoped as Haley misses. Counts now 1-0. Nevertheless, he has a chance to drive in the game's first run. Josh Haley, leg kick and delivers. Once again, misses, this time low. 2 balls, no strikes. Bro is on second. He moved over on the fielder's choice. So Haley takes a peek at second, now motions to the plate, and this one is roped into center field, but quickly moving back and making the catches. Kona Quiggle for out number 3. So once again, the Bucs get a runner on second, but they don't do anything with it. Once again, no score through 1.5 innings of play. The Miners come back up to the plate, and we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Zero zero is your score through an inning and a half between the Bucs and the Miners. So the Miners coming back up to the plate. Hatcher, Wright, and Jump due up. Price still on the mound for the Bucs, and Price through 4 games has a 2-0 record, assembled a 1.35 ERA, which ranks 4th in the ABL. And in 20 innings pitched, he has 21 strikeouts, has walked 6, and only allowed 13 hits. So Price, as we mentioned, out of the University of Arizona, just like Josh Haley, except he is a right-hander, is pitching very well for the Bucs. Obviously had that nice outing against the Miners last time out. And the Bucs on the road, pitching-wise, has been pretty good. 2.67 ERA in opponents' ballparks. Now, you do have to take that with a small grain of salt, as some of their road games are played at the same place they play their home games when they play the Pilots. But nevertheless, a 2.67 when you are the road team is still pretty good.
Not bad at all.
So Price's first pitch in the bottom of the second inning is fouled over to the left side now to play by Josh Hatcher. Second game in the ABL for the Miners. Yesterday went 1 for 3 and walked as well. So the second pitch into Hatcher misses low and away. Hatcher bats from the left side of the dish as he's playing first base tonight. He was drafted straight out of high school, 39th round by the Los Angeles Angels. And he lines one down the left field line that barely gets in. Hatcher around first as Fredrickson goes to the ball. His throw in is not in time. So Josh Hatcher slides in safely with a leadoff double, and that's back-to-back innings the Miners have had their leadoff runner on and had their leadoff runner get to second.
Well, we know coaches have been raving about how good Hatcher's swing is. It's one of the most pure swings on the Miners roster. So for him, nice opposite field double. Great way to start the ABL season for him.
It really is, and he's one of those guys, watching him in batting practice, he has a comment about his hit every time he hits it. He either says, good job, or what was that, or finally, or he's never satisfied, or when he is, he knows it. So Danny Wright stands in. He bunts over to the left side of the infield, running off the mound and making the throw to first is Price. So excellent sack bunt for Danny Wright as that moves Hatcher only 90 feet away from scoring. So that is out number one here in the bottom of the second inning. And the Miners looking to tack on the game's first run. Hunter Jump looks to do so, standing in from the left side of the plate. He's had 3 RBIs against this Bucs team, 3 out of his 9. So Jump looks to head into the double-digit RBI total right now. A sacrifice fly would do it. Corners are in. The middle infield's playing back for the Bucs, and the outfield straight away. Price's first pitch into Jump. That misses low. Counts now 1-0. Jump out of Arizona State, the Sun Devil, came and teamed up with 2 other Sun Devils here on the Miners, and Drew Swift and starting pitcher Brady Corrigan. So Price will come set from his waist. Deliver his 1-0. Jump looks at it as it was well outside. The count's now 2-0.
And I have to imagine all those Arizona State guys have to be feeling like they're back in Arizona. The temperature right now, it's hot, not a lot of breeze blowing along, so you can really feel the sun coming down on you.
Yeah, you really can. As 82 was our first pitch temperature tonight in Palmer. So really toasty, back-to-back 80 degrees nights. Jump flies one in the middle of the infield, heading into actually shallow center. A Scala is under it. That was not deep enough for a sac fly, so Hatcher will have to hold at third. And the Miners now with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Vitia, their last option to try to extend this inning or possibly even score the first run. And Vitia, only a 170 average, but is reaching base at a clip of 304 with 6 walks on the season. But Avita hasn't drawn a walk in a while now, since the 25th of June, as he looks at a ball low. First strike, 0-1. So Price dealing for the Bucs, as we have no score here in the bottom of the second inning. The right-handed thrower against the right-handed hitter in Avitia. His second pitch is on the way. That's fouled back over the box. The count's now 0-2. Avitia will have to protect with 2 outs. Hatcher stands on third after leading things off with a double, and then was moved over by Danny Wright with the sac bunt, and then Hunter Jump flew out in the last at-bat. The Price's 0-2 is on the way. That misses low and in the dirt for ball 1.
And David, you know, everyone knows he's a great defensive catcher. But right now, he's got to prove in the ABL, you know, he can hit. You know, batting under 200 right now, just, you know, has to get more at-bats and has to feel better at the plate.
And the 1-2 is on its way. It misses low and inside as Avitia hops back. And you mentioned he's a good defensive catcher. And catching is one of those positions where your defense can definitely outweigh your offense, but still you don't want to be a definite out. Avitia is not at that level, nowhere near, we should add. But he is working to get a little better, always getting those extra reps in. to try to become a better hitter, and even wearing batting gloves now. He came into the season with no batting gloves as he pops one out of play to the right side. But this Bucs staff, past 7 days, 2.14 ERA, and have struck out 60. But they have walked 34, as they have shut out their opponents in back-to-back road games. So not back-to-back games, just the back-to-back road games that they had before playing 4 in a row at home. So Price misses low, and Avita, after falling 0-2, has now worked a full count. Avita has only had 1 hit in his past 11 at-bats. Though looking to add to that total right now, as Price's payoff pitch is on the way and misses low and outside in the turf. So Avita will reach first, and now the Miners with runners on the corners with 2 down. And the 9-man will step in, the shortstop Drew Swift, as he'll look to add to his RBI total with runners on first and second with 2 down. So Swift, the right-handed hitting shortstop, comes in tonight absolutely on a tear. In his past 2 games, 3 of 6. 2 of those hits came yesterday, and they were both doubles. So the first pitch to Swift nails that lower outside corner. Swift does have an RBI in back, not yesterday's game, but the day before, or rather 2 days before, in game 2 of the doubleheader. So Price will come set. Runners on the corners for the Miners. We have yet to see a score here in the bottom of the second inning, as Price hits the inside corner now. 0-2. Swift just looking to get a bit of contact here to keep this inning going, as the Miners threatening very well here. So Price, from his waist, his pitch. Swung on and missed by Drew Swift. So Price works his way out of a bit of a jam as the Miners leave 2 on in the bottom of the second inning. We have no score as we move into the third inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Looking back into Herman Brothers Field, where we're scoreless through 2 innings of play, as Price and Haley dueling it out in back-to-back matchups between the Bucs and Miners. And the Bucs now holding that season series lead of 3-2. And the Bucs have actually won the past 2 games. And the Miners at home this season, also a great ERA at 2.36. That's just below their overall ERA record, which sits at 2.62, leading the ABL. Team trailing right behind them at 2.88. The Anchorage Bucs, our opponent tonight. So Haley's first pitch to start this third inning is a check swing ground ball over to third base. Henson tosses around the diamond for out number 1. That was Jace Vandenbrake grounding out on the first pitch from Josh Haley here in this third inning. We don't have any score yet, as Escala stands in 0-for-1 today, grounded back to Haley back in the first inning. And Escala, actually the league leader in hits. He has 28. And in the past 4 games, 5 of 16 has 3 RBIs driven in. But yesterday struggled at the plate, where he went 0-for-5 as he looks at a strike low. So Escala trying to make up for the woes yesterday. And the Bucs dropping yesterday's contest 8-5 as Haley's breaking pitch nails the lower part of the plate. Counts now 0-2 with 1 out. Top of the third inning, no score. Scoreboard finally working here at Herman Brothers Field as Escala bounces it back and foul. Bucs dropping to the Pilots. They lost at a clip of 8-5. Where Brennan Bro really had himself a great game. 3 for 4. Hadn't had a ribby. Escala flies it over to the right side. And the Bucs led most of that game. They led until the 7th inning, where the Pilots scored 6. And then no one scored after that point. And actually, a little fun fact is the past 2 Miners opponents have come off a loss against the Pilots. And Escala is down swinging to start this rather second out of the 3rd inning. So Josh Haley has retired 3 due to strikeout. And the Miners pitching staff is really a strikeout heavy staff, now up to 203, league leading. Very impressive, Connor, that the Miners pitching staff can do that and keep that ERA so low, not leaving a lot of pitches open when you have a bunch of strikeout pitchers.
Well, absolutely. You know, whenever you can put away a batter, of course, ERA is going to go down. You know, the more you strike them out, the less the ball is in the field and the less chance of something happening out there.
As the 1-0 pitch, or rather the first pitch was high and inside to make it 1-0, and then the second pitch misses low, so 2 balls and no strikes. 2 down, top of the 3rd inning, 0-0 between Bucs and the Miners. But unfortunately, with that comes a cost. They're second in walks at 102, as Fredrickson will keep this away half going with a base hit in between first and second. So Fredrickson with his first hit tonight. He's now 1 for 2, and that brings up the one of the 3 Bucs hits tonight, Jake Veith, who had a double back in the 1st inning. Nothing came of it, but Veith is very dangerous with runners on, with those 20 RBIs, and is riding. Now it'll be a 6-game hit streak. So 10 of his last 19, 8 RBIs in that mark, and to add to that, 3 home runs as Haley misses high and inside. VTO will make a jog to the visit. Haley. With this break, we'd like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners Internet broadcast, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Enter into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts to enter in for Matsu Miners Jersey Week giveaway today. Going back to Veith, that 6-game hit streak now as he got that hit back in the 1st inning. Been absolutely incredible. But Veith has been no-hit 5 times, and 3 of those has come at the hands of the Miners. So not seeing the ball necessarily well, but he rockets one over into right field. That's going to one-hop the wall before Pinarini can get to it. Around second, now heading to third. He'll be held up is Fredrickson. And Veith standing in on second with once again another 2-out double.
Well, again, Jake Veith is the reason why he's at the top of the ABL in hitting, and he had such a successful spring season. So he just sees the ball really well. He's able to put a great swing on it. And today, 2 doubles.
Yeah, it really did. Great spring. You mentioned 302 he just batted this past spring with a slugging percentage of 505. So that is Veith's now 26th hit of the season, 9 doubles for him. As Haley now facing Tyler Malone as he misses low. The count's now 1-0. Bucs runners on second and third with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. No score. Haley's second pitch this time hits the lower outside corner to the right-handed hitting Malone, who went down in the 1st inning on strikes to end the inning. So once again in a similar position. See if Haley can get the best of him. His 1-1 swung on by Malone. Hard grounder over to the middle of the infield, trying to make the backhand play. Sort of fumbled it with it a little bit, but then the toss over to first is in time for out number 3. So Josh Haley worked into a slight jam, but gets out of it with getting the next batter out. No score through 3.5 innings of play. We have the bottom half of the 3rd inning coming up on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back in to Herman Brothers Field. No score. We're in the bottom half of the third inning as the Miners come up to the plate with their top of the order due up. Kona Quiggle, Austin Pinerini, and Caleb Van Blake. And it's surprising we don't have a score just yet because this is the top two scoring teams in the ABL. The Miners with 110 runs and the Bucs closely following behind at 106 a game. Rather, 106 over their course of their 25 games. And the Miners have scored 30 in the past 5 games, and we alluded to it earlier. The Bucs have scored 30 in their past 4. So both teams red hot at the plate. And the Miners, they do have 4 guys with 10 or more RBIs. So the problem so far is just getting men on base. The Miners just 2 hits in the first 2 innings. So Price winds and delivers his first pitch to start the Miners bats. Misses well outside as Clouch almost had to dive for that one.
Almost. And, you talked about how we haven't seen any scores yet. Price, 4th in the ABL with the ERA coming in today at 1.
Kona Quiggle shoots one up to center field, so a 2-hopper before Brennan Bro can grab it.
Good piece of hitting from Quiggle. So 1.35 from Price. And for Haley, he was 7th in ERA with 1.93. So these are very good pitchers on the mound. And anytime you have a great pitcher, they can shut down some of the best hitting. Yeah,
they really can. And we saw it firsthand. And the last time these two started was against each other. And it really was a dogfight until the final out was recorded, with that score being 3-0. Much of the same has gone on so far with no runs being scored. So Kona Quiggle leading things off with the single. That brings up Austin Pinerini, who looks at a ball outside. We mentioned no score so far as we're in the bottom of the third inning, as we did not see a score until the 4th inning, where the Bucs scored 2 in the last time these two teams saw each other. So the Miners would like to score sooner rather than later, especially facing Price, as Pinerini looks at a strike outside. Counts now 1-1. Pinerini, the advantage in the at-bat, being the left-hander facing the righty Price. He checks first, nothing doing. Pino 0 for 1 today. Flew out in his first at-bat back in the first inning. But comes in his past 11 games, batting .325 with 13 RBIs. So that's all but 3 of his RBIs on the season have came in his last 11 at-bats. In 13 of those hits, rather 7 of those 13 hits have been extra base hits. So Pino really seeing the ball well as he looks at a ball outside. Counts now 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody down, runner on first. Bottom of the third inning. No score. Price's pitch as Quiggle's on the move. Nicely executed hit and run as Escala was almost towards second. And Pinerini placed that ground ball right where Escala normally is as he ranged over, tried to make the play, but Veith had to come off first base to make the safe decision. So the Miners now with back-to-back singles and runners on first and second.
Well, again, just perfectly placed hit from Austin Pinerini. Beautiful run, hit and run. Escala running towards second base, trying to catch the ball. Should have come throwing down and get Quiggle out, but Pinerini, nice job hitting it onto the opposite field. Ground ball over to short. Excellent execution.
And the hot bat of Caleb Van Blake steps in. He is 0 for 1 today, but with runners on first and second, he would love to drive in this game's first run. Price's first pitch misses low and in the dirt. So 1-0 is your count. Van Blake, all 7 of his hits have come in his last 12 at-bats. And he's drove around all of his RBIs in those last 12 at-bats as well. So comes in on fire. Price is 1-0. That just misses high and away. It counts now 2-0. So a left-handed dominant order for the Miners tonight, as they knew Price was going to be on the mound. So nice strategic placing from skipper Ben Taylor. Really think about who they want to face so they can put themselves in the win column against Price, as he misses outside. So the count's 3-0. Clouch will call time to go speak with Price, and you can't walk Van Blake here because that would load the bases for none other than Spencer Henson, the most dangerous hitter in this Miners lineup.
Absolutely. You can't expect a base hit from Henson every single time he gets up. It's almost expected, but yes. Henson is human.
Yes.
So.
But with nobody out in the way, Henson powers the ball. Sacrifice fly is easily in play.
Absolutely.
And he hits the ball hard anywhere it goes. So it would be a dangerous scenario for Price. Nevertheless, he comes set from the waist. His 3-0 pitch is on the way. Van Blake is taking all the way as that hit every part of the zone. So hitters count for Van Blake. So once again, he can either choose to watch another one go by or decide to swing the bat. With run
3-1 here, you should see a very nice pitch. You never want to walk someone. So 3-1, great hitters count.
And it's such a tough spot to be if you're Price. Van Blake, a very good hitter. And then Henson, to follow up, is very good as well. And Van Blake is swinging at this 3-1 pitch. It's high into this evening sky, but out of play to the right side. The count has now worked full, so nice job by Price. Runners on first and second for the Miners with nobody out. Here in the bottom of the third inning, the Miners and Bucs have yet to score. Exactly like the last time these two teams have played. But the Miners would look to change that right now with Van Blake in at the dish. So Price will be from the stretch. His 3-2 kicks and deals. Van Blake is swinging. Bouncer over to second base for one, but the throw to first is low. Veith can't handle it, and Kona Quiggle will come around to score this game's first run thanks to an error by shortstop Willie Escala.
We talked about how the Miners, they're great at getting strikeouts, and that's a perfect example where you needed one if you're the Bucs. The Miners are able to put batters away, and then so things like that doesn't happen. The error on the relay throw, great job by Van Blake putting the ball in play, and you never know what's going to happen once the ball is in play.
Exactly. It's all you have to do is put the pressure on the defense. So Kona Quiggle comes around to score the game's first run. The Miners now lead 1-0. Pinerini was thrown out on the original 4-6 putout, but Van Blake standing on second, he's reached on the error. So that is now the 31st error for the Bucs, and that's Escala's 9th error on the season. And back in the first time these two teams played, Escala made a costly error that allowed the Miners to add on 3 more runs early in the game. The Miners looking to take advantage once again. Only one out here in the bottom of the third. Henson stands in. He looked at a first pitch ball. Now launches one foul over to the right side. So the count's evened up at 1. Henson is 1 for 1 today with a single back in the first inning. Now on a 6-game hit streak. So Spencer Henson is really seeing the ball well. In that 6-game hit streak, now he's 12 of 22 with 8 RBIs. Looks to drive in one more right now. 1-1. That's popped up high to the right side of the infield. Treadaway is calling everyone off and makes the nice 2-handed grab for out number 2. So I guess we just came to realization Spencer Henson is human right there.
Everyone is.
Nevertheless, the Miners still have another chance to drive in Van Blake, who stands on second. They already lead the Bucs 1-0 with Josh Hatcher. He is 1 for 1 on the day as well. Reached with a leadoff double back in the second inning for his second hit of the season. First double. Now looks to add to that. Price trying to work out of it. His first pitch to Hatcher misses well outside. The count's 1-0. Hatcher out of Albany, Georgia, went to Lee County High School, where he was a third-team All-American his senior season. And typically when you're that high listed in the national ranks, you're going to get drafted, and he did. We mentioned earlier in the 39th round. So Price checks second. Now motions to the plate is 1-0. Looked at by Hatcher. It was a strike on the outside part of the plate. So the count has moved to 1-1. 2 down, bottom of the third inning. Miners lead 1-0. As they change that streak where no one scored until the 4th inning last time these two teams played. Well, the Miners now, they have. So they lead 1-0. Price's 1-1's on its way. It misses low and away, 2-1. Not surprising the Miners have scored so early and have scored. They average 5.8 runs at home. So here at Herman Brothers Field, they feel really comfortable in the box and have been showing so of late. So Price down on the count, 2-1 to Josh Hatcher. Checks Van Blake at second, now goes to the plate. Hatcher rockets one into center field. This one is well back. Will Bro get to it? He does. Nice catch by Brennan Bro to end the inning. It was an exciting out, but not before the Miners string together a couple of hits and drive one in. They now lead the ball game 1-0. We'll head into the 4, 5, 6 innings where my fellow companion Connor Mills will be on the call for that one.
It's the top of the fourth inning here at Herman Brothers Field, the home of the Matsu Miners. They take a 1-0 lead thanks to a Caleb Van Blake, as this one from Treadaway is grounded over to Drew Swift. He has it, throws over to first in time for the first out. Well, one pitch, one out for Josh Haley here in the top of the fourth inning. What I was going to say was Caleb Van Blake grounded out into a fielder's choice in the bottom of the third inning. Kona Quiggle came around to score on an error by the shortstop Escala. That's how the Miners lead 1-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Haley's first pitch into Brandon Bro, who just made a nice catch, is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Bro today had a single off of Haley back in the second inning. Second pitch, swung on and missed by Bro. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Bro coming into today with a average of 263. As the third pitch from Haley bounces in the dirt, Avitia has a nice block, searches for it, and finds it in front of him. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far for Haley, 3 strikeouts on the day. He's only allowed 4 hits. We have a little conversation from the catcher, Avitia. Bro with that single raised his batting average to now 273. As Haley's ready, pitching for the windup, he deals, fouled off towards the left side.
Haley just really locked in, having these Bucs hitters fold, and they're batting really aggressive, not knowing what's going to come later in the counts. It's been multiple accounts that they've swung on first pitches.
1-2 outside for ball 2. You know, Haley, you're right, does get a lot of good swing and a miss. There's a lot of nasty stuff in his arsenal. The 2-2 swung on, line drive into center field, diving, and did he catch it? He did. What a play, Kona Quiggle. Playing little in the middle of center field, ranging out into left center field, leaving his feet, a diving catch. A tremendous play from the center fielder, Kona Quiggle.
It truly was. He timed it up perfectly, ranging in to make the catch, and on the perfect angle, because sometimes it's hard on where you dive to make it. Sometimes you can dive actually too far or not enough, but great play by Kona.
Now the first pitch from Haley bounces in the dirt to Troy Klausch. Klausch again from Oregon State. Just won the College World Series. And as exciting as that is, he has to turn it around as this one hits the outside corner, evens up the count at 1. He's got a quick turnaround, and now he's going to try to help the Bucs win an ABL title. Not if the Miners can say anything about that, though, as this one's lined out into right field. A base hit for Klausch, his first in a Bucs uniform. So Troy Klausch on first base with the 5th hit of the game against Josh Haley.
You know, Haley has given up some hits, but he's not allowing the Bucs to really do anything with it, which is good. He makes up for his mistakes pretty soon after he gives up the hit.
Now Haley, working from the stretch, finds the outside corner for strike one against Logan Enos. Enos flew out to center field his first time up, back in the top of the 2nd inning. We are here in the top of the 4th inning. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. This one's lined right up the middle. Jumping and making the catch is Caleb Van Blake. Some tremendous defense played behind Josh Haley as Van Blake and Kona Quiggle are able to catch the balls. So the Miners are leading this one 1-0 as we head into the home half of the 4th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the 4th inning, and Miners are leading the Bucs 1-0. And on Saturday, August 18th, 2018, the 9th annual Big M Memorial Benefit. The Big M Memorial Benefit is an annual all-day fundraising event held at the Mugshot each August and includes a live and silent auction, live music, great food, local vendors, a beard garden, a dunk tank, and a kids area with a bounce house. Bounce house sounds fun right now, as the 2018 recipient is Valley resident Joe Trost, a lifelong Alaskan who was recently diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer. Once again, the Big M Memorial Benefits happening Saturday, August 18th, 2018. As Danny Wright, the switch hitter, swings through this one from Preston Price. Count goes to no balls, 1 strike, but nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners leading the Bucs 1-0. Second pitch into right, bounces in the dirt for 1 ball and 1 strike. Right today, well, he had a sacrifice bunt. He moved Josh Hatcher from 2nd to 3rd. Does not have an at bat as he swings at this one, pokes it out into center field. Ranging over into left center is Bro, and he makes a one-hand catch for the first out in the bottom of the 4th.
I tell you what, going back to the defensive side for the Miners, that was a huge play from not only Kona Quiggle, but also Caleb Van Blake. 2 big hits that could have cost the Miners some runs really in the long run. But luckily, they really laid out their bodies to make some nice plays.
A good pitching performance here from Josh Haley and Preston Price, who's on the mound for the Bucs. As first pitch into Hunter Jump, misses low and away for ball 1. Price again 4th coming into today as the ball is fouled off towards the left side. 4th in ERA at 1.35. So he's been impressive so far and has started 4 games for the Bucs. Big reason why they have 12 wins on the season. Third pitch in. This is low. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 4th pitch on the way. Misses low for ball 3. Hunter Jump has worked into a favorable hitter's count. His first time up, he popped up to the shortstop Escala. As Price is ready from the windup, he deals. Swung on, fouled off, left side, and out of play. Man for Jump has 9 RBIs, walked 5 times this season, has also struck out 9 times. As this one is lined out into center field, dead center, and Bro is able to make the catch. So a nice line drive off the bat of Hunter Jump, but it just finds an outfielder, as that's a second out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, it was a nice hit from Hunter Jump. Unfortunately, just hit it straight to the Bucs defenseman. Really unfortunate when that happens as a hitter. He finally square one up, but nothing comes of it.
So now David Avitia, he's batting in from the right side, facing Preston Price. His first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Avitia went behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes his first time up, worked it full, and was awarded a walk. So a nice quality at bat as he checks his swing. They're not going to take a look down. So now the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Price came into today with 21 strikeouts. That has been increased by 1, as only 1 minor has been struck out. So 22 on the season with only 6 walks. Make it 7 with Avitia's first at bat. One positive, when David's at the plate, he gets on base at 3:04 as 1-1 hits the outside corner. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners leading the Bucs 1-0. The 1-2 swung on and a pop fly out into right field. Enos ranging under it, makes 1-hand grab, and the side is retired. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Matsu Miners here in the bottom of the 4th. We're heading to the top of the 5th inning. Miners lead the Bucs 1-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Jace Vanderbrake, Willie Escala, and Daniel Fredrickson all due up here in the top of the 5th inning. Miners do lead the Bucs 1-0. As first pitch from Josh Haley into Jace Vanderbrake is in for a called strike. Second pitch underway, bounces in the dirt. A good Olay block from David Avitia. Count goes even at 1-1. So Vanderbrake grounded out to third base. That was the first time to Spencer Henson, his first test at third of the season. This one is a line drive, a hopper over the glove of Josh Hatcher at first. Rounding first and heading for second is Vanderbrake. He'll go standing. Ball is now thrown into the infield from Pianarini. So a nice seeing eye hit from Jace Vanderbrake is the leadoff double here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, it was a tough play for Hatcher. It was a hard hit ball and some awkward hops over there at first. Just tried to throw the leather up to smack it down. Unfortunately, it just rolled out into right.
So good effort from Hatcher as the pitch into Willie Escala is bunted high in the air. Making the catch is Josh Haley. So not the sacrifice bunt you wanted. Instead of sacrificing the runner over, he sacrificed himself. As the runner stays at second base, Willie Escala retired on a pop out towards the pitcher.
And that's now a couple of plays that have been very costly from Willie Escala. Back in the third inning, the throw over to first trying to make the double play was off the mark, which allowed the Miners to score their first and only run of the game. And now with a chance to move over the runner only 90 feet from scoring, he pops out to Haley, who I should add fields his position very well for a pitcher.
He does. Has been affectionately nicknamed Big Sexy on the team as the first pitch misses high and away. A reference, of course, to Bartolo Colon, who is still pitching in the major leagues. A very effective pitcher at that.
It's amazing.
The 1-0 on the way, taken high to Daniel Fredrickson.
You know, Haley's just a real big team guy, has the personality, loves to keep the locker room lively. But the biggest thing is he is always coming out of the dugout, whether he's starting or not, giving his guys high fives every time they come on and off the field. So a really nice leader for this Miners team.
The 2-0, a takeoff by the runner Vanderbrake. He steals second base. So Jace Vanderbrake with a stolen base of third. Make that his fourth stolen base on the season. So now a runner at third base for the Bucs here in the top of the fifth inning. They trail the Miners as the Miners lead 1-0. The 3-0 on the way misses low and outside to Daniel Fredrickson. So Fredrickson is now on first with Vanderbrake on third base. Runners at the corners, top of the fifth, and the dangerous bat of Jake Veith comes in and bats from the left side.
Yeah, it really is one of the best bats in the ABL. You got to wonder if the Miners are going to either A, intentionally walk or pitch around. It does look like they'll intentionally walk Jake Veith.
Well, you got your answer very quickly there as Veith appears to be getting an intentional walk. You never know. He looks like ready to hit in case any pitch is thrown in the strike zone or near the area.
Haley will face a left-hander, rather, in Malone in his next batter face, so he will have the advantage of that. And with the bases loaded, there's a chance for a double play.
So Jake Veith with 2 hits on the day, both were doubles. He's now batting .400 on the season and cannot add a walk to his scorecard today. An intentional walk from Josh Haley to Jake Veith loads up the bases with 1 out, and pitching coach Jeff Erlab will take a walk out to the mound.
Yeah, he's just going to talk to Haley about what the defensive strategy is right now, along with the infield, where guys should be positioned, where they should go with the ball if it's hit to them, as this is a very important moment. Only up 1 run. You're in the middle stages of the ball game, so this could be a turning point for the Miners or the Bucs.
So Josh Haley will have to buckle down and see what he's got left in his tank as we're here in the top of the fifth with 1 out. Miners leading 1-0, but the bases are loaded for the Anchorage Bucs. Jace Vanderbrake, he led things off, had a double over the glove of Josh Hatcher. Then Willie Escala, he popped up a bunt straight back to Josh Haley. That was the first out of the inning. Daniel Fredrickson received a walk, and Jake Veith received an intentional walk. That's how we are where we are now. Vanderbrake at third. Fredrickson at second. Jake Veith, he's at first. Josh Haley on the mound, and at the plate, Tyler Malone from Oregon State. First pitch into him. He's swung on and fouled off towards the right side. Puts a jolt into the crowd here at Herman Brothers Fields. And someone's happy they've got a souvenir.
Yeah, Malone was just ahead of that one by Haley, who brought the off-speed with the first pitch.
We'll see what advice Erlab has gotten to Haley as that one is swung on and missed. Malone very out in front of that off-speed pitch from Josh Haley as the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, and the bases loaded here in the top of the fifth inning. Haley, a long look into David Avitia. Now he's ready, and the pitch outside, ball 1.
Nice pitch there from Haley, not giving Malone anything to hit, especially with the bases loaded. Even though you do have 2 strikes, you want Malone, if he's going to swing, not at a great pitch.
1-2 the count, 1 out. Josh Haley stepped off the rubber. Now he's back on. Pitching from the stretch. has to deal with a bases-loaded situation in the top of the 5th inning. He's ready now. The 1-2 swung on and fouled straight back. Count goes and remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Tyler Malone, he struck out today in the first and also grounded out to second base in his 2 trips in the ABL.
Malone just on that one. Got the bat just above the ball.
The 1-2 from Haley. Looked at, strike 3 called. Josh Haley buckling down, digging deep, and finds a strikeout in him. Make that the 4th strikeout of the evening for Josh Haley, as this one remains a 1-run lead. As Miners lead 1-0.
That was a pretty pitch there from Josh Haley, trusting the fastball with the bases loaded and a chance to possibly the Bucs to break it open. He absolutely painted that outside corner.
So now first pitch into Tanner Treadaway, hits the outside corner for strike 1. Josh Haley is locked in as he looks to get through the top of the 5th scoreless, but he has to work through a bases-loaded situation.
And he's trusting his pitches, which is very important.
This one is lined out into shortstop, going towards third, and making the catch was Spencer Henson. So a ground ball over to Drew Swift on a hard-hit grounder from Tanner Treadaway. Swift takes the easy route, goes to third, and their coach is not too happy about that. A loud conversation happening out around the infield position where a shortstop would play, but it looks like everything will remain. It's the Miners 1, the Bucs 0. Tremendous pitching from Josh Haley as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Well, now it's the bottom of the 5th inning. Miners still holding on to a 1-0 lead. And when we were exiting the top half of that inning, Ken Hokoff came out to have a loud conversation with third base umpire Scott Johnston. The conversation was over for Johnston as he was walking towards the outfield, but it was not over for head coach Ken Hokoff, who then got rung up out in left field. So now Eric Hunting will be the acting coach, along with Grant Palmer, as both are assistant coaches. Not clarified whether one's a pitching coach or one's an assistant coach, but one of them will take the reins as Ken Hokoff has been thrown out back in the top of the 5th inning. We are here in the bottom of the inning. Drew Swift leading things off. Swift struck out his first time up in the bottom of the 2nd as he pulls back a bunt attempt, but it's in there for a called strike.
Yeah, Hokoff did not believe that Henson was on the bag when that play was made.
As this one is a tapper. It's rolling slowly up the third base line, and it's booted by Malone. So that's going to be an infield single for Drew Swift. Swift just really has the speed to beat out almost anything in the infield.
Yeah, he really does. Not have been a super hard play for Malone to try to make. He kind of glanced up before he looked down to go for the ball. Noticed Swift was about halfway down the line. Knew it would have been a quick transition and a hard throw. But unfortunately, you need the ball first if you're going to try to throw it.
Well, what an introduction to the Matsu Miners from Malone. Malone now just witnessing the speed of Drew Swift since coming back from the College World Series as Kona Quiggles at the plate. The fastball from Preston Price misses outside for ball one. There's nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning with the Miners leading the Bucs 1-0. I believe this is Ken Hokoff's second time being thrown out of a game. We are aware of one other time, which it was not against the Miners, but we were informed during the game. That was also the time when Ben Taylor was thrown out, his first time of the season. But he is not. He's still in the game today as the second pitch into Kona Quiggle misses outside for ball two.
And, you know, these managers just want the best and everything for their team, and they're willing to lay out their own opinion for their team. And the Bucs being down 1-0, maybe that was sort of a tactic to get the team fired up and going as we enter the later part of this game.
Kona Quiggle swings at this one, flies it left, and out of play. Giving chase was Malone from third. But as soon as you get to that gravel warning track along the sides, it's going to be difficult to catch anything.
Yeah, it really is, because that's when you know that fence is coming up.
So the count, 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Drew Swift, he's at first base. Price on the mound. He deals to Quiggle, who fouls it straight back. Bounces off of Calacio's helmet as the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Clouch had to be careful there as Drew Swift took an aggressive secondary after the pitch was thrown.
So Clouch putting down a sign for Preston Price. Pitching from the stretch. Price holds at his chest. Now deals. Swung on. Line drive out into center field. Falling fast. And diving and making the catch is Brandon Breaux. Brandon Breaux now a second time today making an impressive defensive play out in center field.
Yeah, must something be up with center fielders today, because Quiggle made the nice diving catch, and now Breaux comes in to save the day for the Bucs. So the defense for both teams has really been spectacular, and it's shown. Only 1 run has been scored through the now bottom half of the fifth inning of this game.
For the Miners, 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. And for the Bucs, no runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. At the plate, Austin Pianarini. First pitch in from Price to Pianarini. Paints the outside corner for strike 1. Austin so far today flew out to the left field and had a single back in the third. As Swift is checked on by Price. Throw over not in time.
Yeah, Price has to keep Swifty close over there at first.
Right now on the season, in 11 attempts, Swift has stolen 10 bases as he's checked yet again. Well, outfield looks to be straight away against Austin Pianarini. Infield back in double play position. Jake Veith at first, holding on Drew Swift. Preston Price at the stretch. Now he deals. On the run is Swift. He slides and safe as the ball goes into the outfield. He takes off for third base. Breaux now has the ball and will run it in towards the infield. Drew Swift getting it done with his feet as he steals his 11th bag on the season. That'll be a stolen base, and he'll advance on the throwing error from the catcher. Austin Pianarini now dealing with a man in scoring position as Drew Swift is at third. Infield has been called in. Outfield remains at normal depth. The 1-1 into Pianarini. Swung on. Line drive out into left field. Making the catch is Fredrickson, and tagging is Drew Swift. The cutoff will not be made, and it'll one hop to the catcher, Klausch. Drew Swift coming in with a sacrifice fly. Pianarini gets credit for the RBI. This game is 2-0 Matsu Miners.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there from Pinarini. He's a guy that knows how to drive in runs, showed it off right there, just throw it off deep into the outfield, and obviously Swift has the speed to run it in.
So now Caleb Van Blake making his third trip to the plate here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Miners do have 2 outs. Bases are cleared. Van Blake flew out to left and grounded into a fielder's choice as he offers out the first pitch, flies it out into left field. Starting back was Fredrickson. He'll take some steps in, makes one-hand grab, and the side's retired. So for the Miners, 1 run, it was earned off of 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left on base as they lead the Anchorage Bucs 2-0 as we head into the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miners Radio. We are here in the top of the 6th as a chopper over to Van Blake. A 1-pitch, 1 out from Tanner Treadaway. Josh Haley on the mound. He's cruising through 6. Hit a little bit of a speed bump in the top of the 5th inning, but was able to work out of a bases-loaded jam. Bases were loaded with only 1 out. As now we're here in the top of the 6th inning. Miners lead 2-0. Tanner Treadaway retired on the 4-3 putouts, which will bring up Brandon Bro. Bro today has a single and also flew out. Check that. So Bro led off this inning. Has 1 behind in the scorebook. So Brandon Bro grounded out to second base. This is Troy Klausch, the catcher from Oregon State, as the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike on him. Treadaway ended the last inning on a 6-5 putout, which then resulted in Ken Hokoff being thrown out of this game. Third pitch in from Josh Haley's off-speed pitch that hits the strike zone. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Josh Haley. Bounces in the dirt. Count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Klausch at the plate. Logan Enos is due up next. We finally got our attendance numbers thanks to our general manager, Pete Christopher. 1,211 people here at today's game. It's more than yesterday's game, which featured just north of 1,200. So even more people coming out here to Herman Brothers Fields. We always appreciate the support as the Matsu Miners lead the Anchorage Bucs 2-0 here in the top of the 6th inning.
It really is incredible, and also the weather has helped. Back-to-back 80-degree nights here in Palmer is going to draw people out to the ballpark for something to do outside, especially with the spectacular views that Herman Brothers offers.
Just a great venue for a ball game, as bright sunny skies. All the more reason to enjoy the first place Matsu Miners as this breaking ball misses high and away. Count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning.
And I'm surprised that Bro didn't try to do this against Haley. Clouch is now working Haley in the count, and it's later in the ball game, so his pitch count's going to rise.
Well, the 3-2 misses high and away. And Haley north of 80 pitches.
And you would think that these Bucs hitters are going to sit back and see what Haley has to offer later in counts, what he's going to go to, and maybe slip up so they have something over the plate, as Clouch just did right there.
87 pitches now for Josh Haley, who's through 5 1/3. As the first pitch into Logan Enos hits the outside corner for a strike. So Troy Klausch, he's on first base. He got on with a walk. That is the third walk allowed, the second unintentional, and third if you count the intentional walk, as the count goes to 1-1 strike with 1 out, top of the 6th. Pitch into Logan Enos, fouled off towards the left side. Caleb Van Blake rushing over to second. Should that have been fair? Always practicing, getting better. As we look to fake out Troy Klausch. I'm sure has seen it all after winning the College World Series.
Yeah.
The 1-2 from Josh Haley. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A nice pitch from Josh Haley. Make that his 6th.
Yeah, Haley.
Fifth strikeout on the day.
Haley, only 5 strikeouts, but sometimes the strikeouts isn't what you need as a pitcher to be dominating. He's getting guys to ground out, fly out, and then occasionally gets the strikeout. So he's pitching to contact, and then ever so often he slides in some strikeouts. So really just an incredible performance right now.
Jace Vandenbrake now at the plate as he takes the first pitch high and away for ball 1. So Brandon Breaux led things off here at the top of the 6th. He grounded out to second base. Troy Klausch, he's on first base, got on with a walk. And Logan Enos struck out as this one is poked out into center field. Ranging over, making the catch is Kona Quiggle. So the score remains the Miners 2, the Bucs nothing, as we enter the home half of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Not a lot of scoring going on through 5.5.
As we're here in the bottom of the 6th.
Innings of play.
So it looks like it is not a new pitcher, as Preston Price pitching from the stretch, changing things up in his warm-ups. Price so far, he's through 5, as he'll look to get through 6. Due up for the Miners, Spencer Henson, Josh Hatcher, and Danny Wright. The throwdown has been made by Klausch. And we're about ready to get started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Spencer Henson, he's 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single back in the first, and in the third, he popped out to second base.
Your third baseman, number 35, Spencer.
But for Spencer Henson over the last week, he's batting .467, getting on base at .484. Slugging percentage? Why not? It's up at 800. So Henson having himself a week, as the first pitch into Preston Price is taken all the way. Ball misses inside for ball 1. Miners leading the Anchorage Bucs 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as a fastball misses low and away. Price unhappy with that pitch. As the count goes to Spencer Henson, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Same spot he missed the first time. Count goes 3 balls and no strikes. So again, here at Herman Brothers Field, 1,211 in attendance. That's the highest here as the 3-0 misses outside, just a bit outside, as Henson reaches base for the second time today. Josh Hatcher, he had a double earlier today, also had a big line drive out into deep center field. That was one of the 2 amazing catches Brennan Bro has made on the evening. So now Price pitching from the stretch. He deals outside. It's been now 5 straight balls from Price to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. 4 straight pitches were balls to Spencer Henson. He got on with a walk. And now the first pitch into Josh Hatcher was outside for the 5th ball here, as that one rides high and in, but it finds a strike zone. So says Josh Nolan. Count 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-1 pitch misses high and away. Count goes to 2 balls now and 1 strike. And for Hatcher in yesterday's game, went 1 for 3, had a walk, got on base half the time. On base percentage of .500. Price's 2-1 offering is underway and swung on, fly ball out into left field, and that is going to go foul. That one's hit around 330 in foul territory. So good opposite field power from Josh Hatcher. Just has to find it between the 2 foul poles. Count is even at 2 with nobody out. Runner on first base. Price set, and he deals. Swung on and fouled off. Danny Wright will get that one in the on-deck circle. Count remains 2-2.
Yeah, Hatcher really blasted that one out. Unfortunately, he was a bit behind the ball.
Miners leading the Bucs 2-0. As Josh Hatcher stands in with the 2-2 count, swung on and missed for strike 3. So Hatcher, that's his first strikeout on the season. As Price is 1/3 of the way there through getting through 6.
Yeah, it's a big out there for Price after the leadoff single from Spencer Henson. But nevertheless, it's only 1 out, so the Miners still very threatening.
Spencer Henson reaching base with a walk. That's how he's on. Josh Hatcher struck out. And now Danny Wright batting in from the left side. First pitch is bunted right down the line. Third baseman Malone's coming up. He throws, and it's in time for the second out. A sacrifice bunt for Danny Wright moves Spencer Henson over, as now there are 2 away with Hunter Jump at the plate.
Once again, another nice bunt for Danny Wright. He's really doing a great job laying him down near that line so that the only play possible is down to first.
So Wright with a bunt. Got thrown out by Malone. Now moved over Spencer Henson. Hunter Jump at the plate now. Jump popped up to short. Lined out to center field. First pitch into him as this one's roped into right field. One hopper right to Logan Enos. Rounding third and heading for home is Spencer Henson. The throw is way offline. Hunter Jump rounding second. The catcher, Klausch, has it. A RBI single for Hunter Jump. As they extend the lead, it's the Matsu Miners 3, the Anchorage Bucs nothing, here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, it really was a great hit there from Hunter Jump to bring in Henson, and he was on his horse.
So Hunter Jump with an RBI single. That brings his total now to 10 on the season. Now we'll have a mound visit. And as always, the Matsu Miners Internet broadcast sponsor, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. If you're here in Alaska, stop by your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miner jersey giveaway for your chance to enter and win. We're coming to you live here at Herman Brothers Field with an attendance of 1,211. As always, Connor Mills and Brad Walker with you on the call. The Matsu Miners lead the Anchorage Bucs 3-0 as Preston Price will remain on the mound.
Yeah, nice job by Hunter Jump, up to 10 RBIs now. Only 2 RBIs in his past 16 at-bats, but nice for Jump to start bringing things around.
So David Aviti looking to break out of his slump. So far today, he reached base on a walk and also flew out to right field. First pitch from Price into Aviti, misses high and away for ball 1. You know, David, he's been able to reach base on a walk, a hit by pitch, maybe a couple errors, but, you know, hits are something that is still coming along for him. As coming in today, only batting $170. Count, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base. The pitch into Aviti. This one is popped up high into the infield. Making the call and calling everybody off is Tanner Treadway, who makes a one-handed grab, and the sides are tied. So the Matsu Miners do tack on 1 more as they extend their lead to 3-0 over the Anchorage Bucs. For the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, we'll throw it over to Brad Walker. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
New man on the mound for the Miners as we enter these final 3 innings of play. They currently lead the Bucs 3-0, coming off an RBI single thanks to the bat of Hunter Jump. And that new man on the mound is going to be right-handed reliever Denver McQuarrie out of Mississippi State. So this will be his first appearance this season. McQuarrie, definitely a great season this past spring at Mississippi State. Had 19 appearances. Rather, just 19 appearances and 39 innings pitched, struck out 31, and allowed 27 runs. So looking for an even better summer, though, is Denver McQuarrie. He'll join his Mississippi State teammate playing first base, Josh Hatcher, and he'll relieve Josh Haley. His final stat line, pretty incredible. 6 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 5. So great work there from Josh Haley. Another solid start as he is in line to avenge that loss he had last time against the Bucs. And it's actually a reverse order right now. The Miners are leading 3-0. The Bucs won 3-0 last time. Nevertheless, top of the 7th inning, Willie Escala will start things off for the Bucs. First pitch from McQuarrie just misses outside. The count's now 1-0.
You know, it's an exciting new face for the Miners to see on the mound. You know, McQuarrie recruited for a starting job.
As Escala skies one in the air and foul ground to the left side. Running over to make the catch without his hat is Drew Swift for out number 1.
You know, Swift, he knew he had the better angle on it. It was going to be a tough play for Spencer Henson to make. And Swift as we've seen before, he has a great baseball IQ, tremendous for a shortstop to have.
And McQuarrie lettered 4 years in football in high school and actually is the Mississippi State high school record holder within interceptions. He had 33 back in his prep days. So McQuarrie, definitely a multi-sport athlete. But he is doing the pitching duties for the Miners right now. Fredrickson looked at bunt, pulled it back. Not really knowing why, is that fastball hit every part of the zone. So high velocity guy McQuarrie is. Came in a lot of relief work for Mississippi State. So the tall hander, right-hander winds and delivers. He misses just outside. The counts move to 1-1. Fredrickson tonight is 1 for 2. Reached back in the 5th inning on a walk. As the Bucs still searching for that first run as they trail 3-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. The Miners trying to make it 8 in a row at Herman Brothers Field. And this one is shot right up the middle. And a few hops before Kona Quiggle will get it. So Daniel Fredrickson's on board with one down. That means that the Bucs tying run is all the way on deck for the Bucs. But with the heart of the order coming up, Jake Veith stepping in, who was 2 for 2 tonight, was intentionally walked in his last at-bat to load the bases. And Josh Haley did an excellent job of getting out of it. As pitching coach Jeff Erlab will make a mound visit right now after McQuarrie gives up the hit. I'd like to thank the official internet sponsor of the Matsu Miners internet broadcast, Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Enter into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So enter for your chance to win today. And Jeff Erlab doing a great job with this pitching staff, with leading the ABL coming into tonight, 2.62 ERA. Hitters are only hitting 198 against them. So really it's been a dominant performance from starters to bullpen.
Erlam, as we said, he's lived this life. He's spent 6 seasons in the Oakland Athletics minor league system. He knows what it takes to get to that moment, and he's here now in the ABL to help the Matsu Miners pitching staff and elevate their level of play so that they can reach their dreams like he reached his.
You mentioned dreams. Spoke to him today in a sit-down interview, which will be coming soon to our YouTube channel. That's what he mentioned. It was his dream growing up, become a baseball player, and he did just that. So Veith fouls off the first pitch from McQuarrie over to the left side and out of play. Mentioned Veith, one of the most dangerous hitters in this Bucs lineup, came in tonight, leading the ABL with 20 RBIs. So McQuarrie comes set, chest high, his pitch. That's bounced over to second. Backing up, making the play is Van Blake. Over to short for one and back to first for the third out of the inning. So a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play for the Matsu Miners as they lead the Anchorage Bucs 3-0. When we come back, we'll have the bottom of the 7th inning for you on Matsu Miners Radio. New pitcher for the Anchorage Bucs as they counter the Miners move, bringing in a new man as well. They'll bring in the left-hander Adam Seminaris, and this is the first time he's appeared this season that hasn't been a start. 4 appearances, has 4 starts. So the lefty deals to Drew Swift, who looks to bunt, dribbles it foul behind him. Swift so speedy out of the box. It's really impressive. Nevertheless, he relieves Price, who went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, but only 2 were earned. So he walked 1 and struck out 1 as well. So he sits down. He's now in line for the loss, and which is a 180 really from the last time where Haley allowed the 3 runs and Price had 0. Nevertheless, the Miners are leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Seminaris, the left-hander, dealing to Drew Swift. Nails that inner part of the zone. Swift, the right-hander, is 1 for 2 tonight, doubled and came around to score back in the 5th inning. So Seminaris winds and deals. His 0-2 swung on and missed by Drew Swift for out number 1 of the inning. Only the second time the Miners have gone down on strikes tonight, as they actually have the least in the ABL with 151 coming in. So now that total's bumped up to 153. But they are doing a great job just getting bat on the ball, always putting things in play. Kona Quiggle steps in. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Has reached twice, however, once on an error and then singled back in the 3rd. As he takes a strike low. So the pitching duel once again continues. But the Miners doing a little better this time as they lead 3-0. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Quiggle swings through a second strike. Counts now 0-2. 0-2, 1 down. So sun is still shining very brightly. So Seminaris 0-2 is on the way. And this one shot out into left field. 1 hops before Fredrickson grabs it. And Kona Quiggle is on with a 1-out single. Nice piece of hitting on the outside pitch from Kona Quiggle. And they look to improve on this 3-0 lead, and they'll do it with their best RBI man, Austin Pinerini, who had a sac fly for an RBI back in the 5th inning. In total is 1 for 2 today, with a base hit back in the 3rd. So lefty on lefty matchup. Quiggle stands on first. Seminaris from his waist delivers a fastball low. Counts now 1-0. So Seminaris coming into this one through 4 starts, has a record of 2-1 and a .42 ERA in 21 innings pitched. Has 17 strikeouts and 6 walks to add to his name. As this is his first relief appearance, and Pinerini, the one hopper over to second, tread away to short for 1, and then back over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. So just like the Miners, the Bucs get out of an inning with a 4-6-3 double play. The Miners still lead the Bucs 3-0 as we head into the 8th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back in. Top of the 8th inning here between the Miners and the Bucs. The Miners do hold the 3-0 advantage over the Bucs currently. And we have a new pitcher for the Miners. Malachi Emmon comes in. Malachi has been absolutely dealing as a relief pitcher for these Miners through 10, and his first pitch is on the way. That nails the upper half of the zone for a looked-at strike one. Malachi through 10 and a third innings pitched, only allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, and 20 strikeouts for an ERA of 3.48. So he misses high. The count's now moved to 1-1. Miners leading 3-0 as we're in this 8th inning. And up at the plate is Tyler Malone from the left side as he looks at a ball in the dirt, 2-1. Been a while since we've last seen Malachi. It was at home against the Oilers back on June 28th. So the 2-1 pitch from Malachi misses high. It counts the hitter's count, 3-1 to the leadoff man Malone. Malachi was really the only time this year he's been roughed up. Did not record an out and gave up 3 earned runs off 2 hits. But looking to get back on his normal ways. Unfortunately, he will miss high and walk the leadoff man Malone. So that's the 3rd walk issued by a Miners pitcher this year, or this game rather. So the Bucs have a man on to begin this 8th inning. They do trail 3-0, and Tanner Treadaway steps in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And Malachi coming in relief to Denver McQuarrie, who pitched an inning, gave up 1 hit, but then had a double play to get out of it. So no runs given up by him, his 1 inning of work. Malachi delivers a fastball on the outside edge to Treadaway for strike number 1. So the Miners looking to improve to 16-9 and try to win 8 wins at home in a row before heading to Kenai. Emmon, big kick and delivers. Nice pitch in there for strike number 2. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Malachi is a strikeout pitcher. Always looks for the strikeout, no matter what count he's in. Emmon standing in. He'll come set from the chest. His 0-2 is on the way. Gets Treadaway to swing through the snap down to first. Not in time. But Malachi Emmon gets yet another strikeout for his 21st of the season. Sets down Tanner Treadaway swinging.
Malachi can really just rack up strikeouts. He's got a great fastball. He's got a lot of life on his slider, and it's hard for a hitter to really dial in against him.
Yeah, he's just got some strikeout stuff. That slider is absolutely nasty. It fools hitters all the time. And then that fastball to come along with it is definitely a great pitch for Malachi. As the left-handed hitting Brennan Bro steps in. 1 for 3 tonight. Has 1 of the 7 hits for the Bucs. Malachi misses for a ball. 1 down here in the top of the 8th inning. The Miners do have the 3-run advantage over the Bucs. They try to avenge the loss in the last time these two teams played. So Malachi delivers a strike on the outer edge. Counts now 1 ball, 1 strike. To Brendan Bro. Bro with that single back in the 2nd inning. Still does have Malone standing on first, who reached on a leadoff walk. Malachi out of the stretch. This one lined right up to the shortstop Swift, who got some leather on it and popped it up into shallow center. So that was a tough play by Swift as he was running over thinking Malone was running. Nevertheless, it was a nice hit there from Brennan Bro. So now the Bucs with runners on 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, very tough play for Drew Swift to make or attempt to make. And just Bro hitting him this time where he is, but tough bounce for Swift.
So the tying run does stand in at the plate in Troy Clouch, who has reached twice, once on a walk in the 6th and then got a base hit back in the 4th inning. He looks to provide, but Emmond has been known to get out of situations before. This one is tapped right past the mound. Coming up to make the play is Drew Swift for out number 2. Nice play for Drew Swift to come back up. Malachi, who threw out his right paw trying to grab that one. He's made 2 bare hands before, so I wouldn't put it past him to try to make another one.
I was about to say, he's known for the bare hand play, but Swift known even better for his glove.
So So Swift does quickly come up to make the play. So the runners do advance, however, to second and third, and the tying run is still at the plate for the Bucs. But with 2 outs, it's going to be tough to do, especially against Malachi Emmond, as Logan Enos steps in. Enos 0 for 3 today. Now only 2 hits in his past 20 at-bats. So Enos really struggling at the plate, the switch hitter. 2 down, top of the 8th inning. Miners with a 3-0 lead. Emmons first pitch into Enos. Nice fastball that hits the outer edge of the zone. The count's now 0-1. So it seems as if the closer, Bryce Tassan, I beg your pardon, is warming up in the Miners' pen.
Yeah, he just recently informed us how to pronounce his last name.
Yep. And Enos lines one down the left field line, just foul. So now he will go down the count 0-2 against Malachi Emmond, who definitely, with that strikeout power he has, Enos has to protect very strong. Choke up on the bat, most likely. So 0-2, 2 down, top of the 8th inning. The Bucs trail by 3. Emmons' pitch is on its way. Just misses high and away for ball 1. Nice miss from Emmond, as he doesn't really want to give Enos anything too good to hit, obviously, with the runners on second and third. Treadaway on third, Bro on second for the Bucs as the tying run is at the plate, trailing by 3. The Bucs look to try to get to that 500 mark at 13-13. Emmond kicks and deals. He misses in the dirt away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Emmond trying to sit down Ennis. Ennis on the season now up to 11 strikeouts, but is 4th in the ABL in walks with 15, so he knows how to work a pitcher. So Emmons, 2-2 pitch, bounced foul over to the right side. So the count will stay at 2-2. Nice job by Enos, fouling it off. And this, Malachi has seen the Bucs multiple times. This is his 4th appearance against the Bucs. And through 3 1/3 innings, he's only allowed 1 run. That was in the most recent time he saw them. Nevertheless, the 2-2 pitch on its way. Big bender that dive bombs into the outer half of the plate, and Malachi Emmond works out of a sticky situation to hold this Matsu Miners 3-0 lead, and we head into the home half of the bottom of the 8th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Miners hold a 3-0 lead over the Bucs as we enter the bottom of the 8th inning with Van Blake, Henson, and Hatcher due up. So the heart of the Matsu Miners order. A lot of power, a lot of RBIs driven in by this crew. And Emmond, or rather the next pitcher, whoever it may be for the Miners, to stand to the mound. Definitely wouldn't mind a few more insurance runs, as the Miners were set down in order due to a double play in the last inning. Van Blake is first pitch swinging. A shot to Beath, who swallows it up and then taps first for the first out of the inning. Nice play over there by Jake Beath. That brings up Spencer Henson. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Reached back in the 6th inning on a walk. Came around to score that 3rd run. And then back in the 1st inning had a single. So a 6-game hitting streak for Spencer Henson. Now up to 28 hits on the year. So Henson getting it done. Man out of Oral Roberts. So lefty on righty. Seminaris is still working on the mound for the Bucs in his first relief appearance. He misses well inside for ball 1. So the Bucs on the road haven't been too good this season, coming in at 5-8. As Seminaris just misses low and away for ball 2. Whereas at home, with a record of 7-5, well, doing a little better back in Mulcahy, but on the road it's been slight struggles. The 2-0, that's a two-hopper over to the shortstop Escala, who gathers it and throws to first for out number 2. So Seminaris trying to set down the Miners in order for only the 4th time tonight. As Josh Hatcher stands in, attempting to extend this inning. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Now 2 hits in 2 games as a Miner. So the left-hander hitting first baseman doing quite the nice job. Ever since stepping in out of Omaha. As he looks at a first pitch breaker, that's in for a strike. The count's now 0-1. Seminaris, in his last appearance, which was a start, 6 innings, did not allow any runs on 2 hits. And Hatcher lines this one in between short and third for a base hit to extend the 8th inning. Really, Hatcher's just a pretty good hitter. I mean, what more can you say? Takes the ball, wears his pitch, and throws it wherever he wants to. You notice in batting practice, and now it's showing on the field.
You know, and Hatcher just batted above 250 during the spring season, but you knew the swing was there, and that's why you come here to summer ball. In the ABL, you get more reps, you get more plate appearances, and you just get to hone your craft here.
So the Miners up to 9 hits tonight as they lead 3-0. Danny Wright will take a pitch low for a strike. He stands in, still batting from the right side, the switch hitter. Danny 0 for 1 tonight, has sack bunted twice now tonight, but with 2 outs, that's very unlikely. In fact, impossible as he fouls it straight back, just out of the glove of Clouch. So Danny Wright has fallen behind 0-2. Wright has struck out 10 times this season. Third on the team in walks, however, with 10. Wright, after a really hot start, now only 2 hits in his past 16 at-bats. And trying to increase this reached base streak, which is at 3 currently, in this at-bat. So Seminaris, from the stretch, his 0-2 pitch. 2-seamer that misses outside. The count now moves to 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Miners leading 3-0. And they try to even up this season series at 3-3. But Danny Wright is down in the count 1-2. Seminaris, after the long look to first, motions to the plate. Danny Wright flies a foul over to the right side. And in this rematch of a pitching contest, if everything sets as it is, it'll be almost a complete 180. As Price now giving up the 3 runs this game, whereas Haley had the shutout. The only time is both pitchers went 1 inning less this time around. As Wright grounds one hard over to short, Escala chooses the easy route in the short throw to second for out number 3 of the inning. So the Miners will try to close it out for their 8th win in a row at home when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Bryce Tossan, the closer for the Matsu Miners, looks to close things out and give the Miners their 8th straight win at home. So Tassan comes in, the right-handed thrower, does have 5 saves on the season, and in 10 appearances, a 1.63 ERA. In 11 innings pitched, has struck out 16, only walked 3, and given up 9 hits. So he's seen the Bucs multiple times before. In the 3 times faced, he has acquired a loss, unfortunately. But in those 3 innings pitched, he's only allowed 1 run, and it wasn't even earned. So a perfect ERA right now against the Bucs. He'll face the 9-1-2 hitters. Van de Break, Escala, and Fredrickson are scheduled to go up if there's no pinch hitters. So Van de Break steps in, the right-handed hitting designated hitter. 1 for 3 tonight, so 1 of the 8 hits. The Miners do lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning at Herman Brothers Field. Great crowd was on hand tonight. 1,211. Tassan's first pitch misses low and away for ball 1. So Van de Break tonight extended his 3-game hit streak to 4 back in the 5th inning with a double. But would like to get another hit here to possibly give his Bucs a chance to head home happy tonight. But he fouls it over to the right side, 1-1. And the Miners still sitting atop the ABL at 15-9. They look to extend that to 16-9. And they'll have a crucial series coming up in the next 5 days against the Peninsula Oilers. Tassan's 1-1 on the way. That misses low and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Where they play them 5 in a row. The second place Oilers are sitting at 14-11 right now, 1.5 games back. So it'll be interesting to see what the standings are like after that series, as the 2-1 is skied foul over to the left side and out of play. The Oilers are off tonight, so the Miners can extend this lead over them with the win tonight, as the Miners have won 2 in a row. And Tassan gets Van de Break swinging for the first out of this 9th inning. And now the Miners only 2 more outs away to extend this home winning streak.
Now, Tassan, he's one of the better closers here in the ABL and has been locked down for the Miners as he looks to continue doing that here.
Yeah, he really is. And he relieved Emmond, who went an inning, only gave up a hit, did allow a walk as well, and struck out 2 in a scoreless inning of work. So nice job once again by the setup man, Malachi Emmond. So the bullpen, otherwise known as the Electric Factory, looks to shut things down once again for the Miners. So Bryce Tassan missed high for ball 1. The second pitch is hit high in the air by Escala in foul ground over the right side. A long run over by Pinarini as he goes diving into the fence. That did not look good. As he throws it, he's sitting up. The bullpen is checking on him. A big gasp by the crowd. Now he's up standing. And the bullpen, a.k.a. the Electric Factory, hands in the air. Austin Pinarini is jogging. A tip of the gap from Bryce Tassan. And what a catch for out number 2.
Well, just a tremendous play from Pinarini, ranging all the way over from mid-right field. Foul territory, still going, all the way by the Miners bullpen, and then gives his body up and goes against the chain link fence. Just tremendous play from Pinarini, who, as we all know, he's a catcher. He's playing out of position, but looks right at home in right.
Yeah, Pinarini played some outfield last year at summer ball, actually, but with the way that ball dropped, it was almost, that's the only way he could have caught it, unless he could have sped over to get under it. Nevertheless, 1 out left for the Bucs to try to come back from this 3-0 deficit. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning, Fredrickson looks to extend it. He fouls it straight back to the fence for strike 1. Fredrickson would be the man to do this, as he has 2 hits tonight, back in the 3rd and 7th. So Tassan's 0-1 on its way, and misses low in the dirt, 1-1. So Bryce Tassan out of southeastern Louisiana has been very effective, the right-hander for the Miners. Hatcher is playing back near the grass. Other than that, everyone else is at normal depth. Fredrickson hits one high in the air over to the right side, ranging over and making another diving catch to end the game is Kona Quiggle. So what a way to end this game, as Kona Quiggle puts a big exclamation mark on this 3-0 victory over the Anchorage Bucs. What a grab from Kona Quiggle once again.
He's just, I know I say this word a lot, but he's tremendous out in the outfield. Quiggle, no matter where you put him, in left, in center, or even first base earlier on in the season. He is just a true defensive player, and he's coming around with the bat as well. But man, oh man, it's been great to watch him play out in the field.
Yeah, it really has. And so the Miners now have won 8 games in a row at Herman Brothers Field. That's got to feel good. It's going to be their last one for a while, though, as they have 5 in a row coming up against the Peninsula Oilers, which could be a middle of the season match to watch, as that is between the first and second place teams. So with this win, the Miners go up to 16-9 with an overall record. The Bucs drop to 12-14 and 5-9 on the road. The Miners now are in the double digits at home, 10-3. So the winning pitcher tonight, Josh Haley, went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, no runs, and 5 strikeouts. Preston Price will take the loss. So tables have turned here. Price got the win when the Bucs won 3-0. And now tonight, Haley is the victor as the Miners win 3-0. Bryce Tossan comes on for the save. So the Miners a nice 3-0 victory. So the Miners 3 runs on 8 hits, where the Bucs were shut out on 8 hits as well, but 3 costly errors, really, Connor, which you could say may have costed them the game.
Well, errors will always cost you games, and, you got to tip your caps to the Miners. They put the ball in play. They did the right thing. They played the game right. They did small things correctly.
So the Miners do win 3-0. We will have our post-game interviews to follow with skipper Ben Taylor and our Matsu Miner player of the game. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And for the final time tonight, the Matsu Miners extend their home winning streak to 8 with a 3-0 win over the Anchorage Bucs. For Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure.